We're trying to acclimate so when you walk outside this morning after this and it's almost 100, it won't feel bad. Now, for those of you not familiar with this, we're also live streaming this. That's why I have a camera in the back and it's all the equipment's in the back room, so we're live streaming this. We're also simultaneously, we're recording it. So for some reason you say, hey, can I get a recorded version of this? The answer is yes. Just let us know, send Andrew or Score an email and we'll send you a recorded link or a link that has a recorded version of this today. Okay, so if you miss a note or whatnot, participation is really, really important.
Before you leave,
yes.
You want to give a quick rundown of video as far as what you're seeing happening and in the marketplace, and then we'll go into that infographic.
Yeah, video in general is, we've known for a long time that what we see, we tend to believe more, we interact with more, and so more and more businesses are using video. More and more individuals are using video. In fact, when I first started doing this about 4 years ago, just using YouTube as a barometer or a gauge, there were about 24 hours of video uploaded every minute to YouTube. Now it's over 72 hours every minute. And that's just one platform, even though the largest video platform out there and then the second largest search engine. The other thing is, when you have a video and you put it on your site, a 3-minute video has the power to explain something that would have taken 30 minutes for Andy to read or you to read. So you can get your message across a lot faster. The other thing that video that we're seeing happen is we're seeing a lot of, I'm going to say, technical or complicated processes being explained in video much simpler. I'll give you a perfect example. Last night I was wanting to know something about this whole streaming process, and I just went into Google and I typed in exactly what I was looking for, and all of a sudden there were many, many videos I could watch. And it made it so much easier and clearer than me saying, okay, I'm going to pull out my manual that's 270 pages long and read through it. I want to see somebody actually doing it. So from a learning standpoint, it's extremely powerful. The conversion rate, and I know Andrew's going to talk a lot about that, but the conversion rate from somebody landing on your site, Nicole, and then they actually take action. When you have a video on your site, it's like 65%. That's huge. That's huge. That's like, you think about a direct mailer coming into your mailbox, you get about a 1 to 3% conversion. It's off the charts at 3%. This is 65%. In fact, 90% of people online are making their buying decisions after they watch a video. That's powerful. So everything we do, you have an opportunity to make a video and put it on your site. A client that's not here this morning, that's also here at Score, comes to Score very often, we're making 15 videos for him. And it's going to be, it's a 1-year process as far as getting his message out there. We're making three videos for him that are going to be on his website and also attracting new leads. And then there's going to be a process that he's going to use video, because his business is somewhat complicated, to send out messages once a month to these people who opt in and say, I want to be part of what you're talking about. So if you're not using video, I want you to understand, it's almost like you're in a rowboat and everybody using video is in a speedboat. It's not that you're not staying afloat, it's just going to be very, very difficult. And if you're not using video, what will happen is when you go on search and there's a place where there's a video on there and there's not, Google says we're twice as likely to click the one that has a video on it. So you're being left behind. You can do all the marketing you want. Without video, the chance of you standing out becomes less and less and less and less. And they say by 2017, 90% of all traffic on the internet will be video-based. So those are the things that I've kind of come across, Andrew.
Great.
So I got warmed up and scared.
Yes.
Okay.
You're not going to disappear though, because I might need you to help me drive the thing. So how many people are using video right now? Just 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So I came across an infographic yesterday about the stats that are out there about video marketing right now, and some of the stats are pretty interesting, and this is one of the latest things I could find to share with everyone. So let me see if you can all see that. Can you all see that? Read that? This infographic in the middle. So I just want to go through some of these interesting things because I thought it was very apt for what we're talking about today. The very first one, 1.8 million words is the value of 1 minute of video. 1.8 million words. Who wants to go and write a blog post? 1.8 million words when you can do a quick video on that. That's what a study done recently according to Forrester research. So it's very interesting to see how much information you can get across. If Jeff was going to go and read about what he was looking at last night, it would have been volumes of a book. But now the information you can get across in a video is pretty enormous. The shopping cart one, 90% of online shoppers say video has assisted them in their purchase decisions. 90%. That's 9 out of every 10, a video has assisted them in purchasing something. 75% of executives told Forbes magazine they watch business-related videos on the web at least once a week. Once a week. Of these, 65% then went to visit the actual marketer's website. So you can see it doesn't matter where they watch it. It doesn't matter if they're watching it on YouTube or Vidler or Vimeo or any of those other hosting sites. They go on to look at that person's website. So it's a pretty interesting fact that they are looking at more information once they've seen the video. Does that make sense? All right. 80% of internet users say they recall watching a video ad. How many people have seen a video ad? Ever seen a video ad? Video ads are those things that play automatically when you're not expecting it. On some tab, you can't work out which one it's playing on. And suddenly there's an ad, you think, what's that noise coming from? And you're trying to find which tab to close down. That's a video ad. So 80% of internet users say they recall watching a video ad on a website they visited in the past 30 days. And 15% of video ad viewers say after viewing the video, they click through to the advertiser's website for more information. All right, there's a little bit more. If you scroll down, up the other way, down, up, no. Just on a Mac user, I've got to teach him how to use a Mac at the same time. Gotcha. All right, let's have a look. 59% of executives, according to Forbes, prefer to watch video ads online than text ads. So they prefer to watch ads on video. They also say that retailers using video online are 65% more likely to convert sales. So, interesting stuff. Video engagement over on the left hand, 10 seconds. That's how long you have to basically capture people's attention. 10 seconds. Yes?
Could you define a video ad rather than an ad which is on video?
Pretty much the same thing.
So I mean, like you get major brand advertising, which is that considered a video ad?
That's, okay, so yeah, they're considered the same thing. It's an ad that's coming across in video format.
Okay.
So it's the same sort of ad you see on TV. It doesn't, you can create your own ad, but it doesn't have to be as fancy as one of those.
Okay.
It's something that's giving a message across in video format.
Okay.
2 minutes. While desktop viewers tend to stick with videos for 2 minutes, mobile users tend to stick to them for about 2.4 minutes. So people are watching videos longer on mobile, which I'm surprised at. Actually, I thought it would have been the other way around. But people are watching videos on mobile for 2.4 minutes. 96% increase in CTR. CTR is click-through rate. Click-through rate, so including a video in your email campaigns can increase the click-through rate by 96%. 96%. That's an easy way to nearly double your click-through rate in your email marketing. So instead of going out and getting double the amount of people to your list, all you need to do is stick a video in there. Ooh, okay. All we need to do is stick a video in your email campaign to actually double the amount of people going through to the actual email where the site that you're sending them on your email. So that's a lot easier than actually trying to double your list, right? So stick an email or a video in your email and you'll find that is a lot easier. All right, and then let's have a look. YouTube viewers by age and gender. You can see YouTube, the biggest YouTube age group, 35 to 64. Who's surprised at that figure?
Yeah.
All right, so it's not all about kids. It's really nothing new to kids. It's 35 to 64. And it's almost a little bit more male than female for YouTube viewing, but it's pretty even. Right, is that it? Is that the end of that view? Okay, great. So as you can see there's some really interesting stats about video, and this has just come out. This only came out yesterday, I saw. So these guys have done some fair bit of work on here. While we do this, let me just get my next set of slides ready.
So Andrew, do we need to keep a video like less than 2.5 minutes?
No, I prefer. It depends on your audience. It depends on your audience. I like to say between 2 to 2 to 3, 3 or 4 minutes. But just give them one piece that they can take away. I've seen videos that actually have given too many pieces of information in a short video, and it doesn't cover in depth what the person's looking for. So, for instance, if Jeff was looking for how to stream something, and all of a sudden they talked about streaming, then they talked about different equipment that they could use, and then different sites that you could go and do it, he would sort of lose interest because he doesn't need to know about the other bits and pieces. He wanted to know one singular thing. And he's likely to drop off watching their video if they go into another topic, which is not good either, because if that's a video that's on YouTube and Google looking at that and saying, how interesting is this video to everybody else? Because people like Jeff coming to this video and they're dropping off after 2 minutes because he's got what he wanted. Nothing bad, he doesn't hate the video, he just gets off because he's got what he's needed. Then YouTube look at that and say, something's not quite right about this video. Maybe it's not the best result we're serving to our people looking for this information. What YouTube want to see is you see it on a video and you watch it all the way to the end. Because that's a compelling video, and they're saying, hey, people are watching this all the way to the end. Does that make sense? Cool. Did you watch it all the way to the end?
I did.
Yes, good.
Andrew, when a person watches a video on a mobile device, is he paying extra for
Data
all that
fees?
bandwidth coming in?
It depends on what you're doing. If you're watching it on your mobile and you're using the 3G network or the 4G network, then, and depends on your data plan. For instance, my wife's been grandfathered into a data plan that she's got unlimited data, so it doesn't really matter. Whereas my plan, I never got that because I think the telcos woke up to how silly that idea was. And now I've got to pay for, I have a limit every month, so they're going to pay for that. If you're using a Wi-Fi network, so let's say for instance you're in the SCORE building and you're on the Wi-Fi network for SCORE, you're not paying for that.
You're free.
You're free, yeah.
Okay.
As long as you're connected to the Wi-Fi, it doesn't matter. So that was why it was interesting to me about the video on mobile, why they're actually watching more. But what I'm thinking is that there's more Wi-Fi spots around the world now that are free. I mean, you go to Starbucks, McDonald's, all these shops. There's cities now that are free Wi-Fi in the entire city. In fact, I think El Paseo is all free, right? Wi-Fi. So you get down the street on El Paseo and watch video all day long. It's not costing you anything. It costs them something, but not you. So does that answer that question?
Yeah,
okay, so let's have a look at a couple of things. Video optimization. There's 11 points, and if you've got a pen, you may want to write some of these down. I'll show you some examples as we go. Number one, content quality check. Is your video actually relevant to what you're trying to talk about on your website? Remember we speak, when Google are looking at your website, they look for fresh, unique, and relevant content. Is your content on your video relevant to what you're talking about? So make sure that whatever you're talking about in your video is relevant to your website. Anything you want to add to that? You jump in and let me know. Okay, so title. Here's a video. This is one of my videos that I put up a little while ago. And titles are extremely important. And as Jeff, this is basically Jeff's business is a lot about making all of this stuff connected. So a title, in this case here, how to use Facebook offers. Now, this video is all about, what do you think? What do you think the video is about?
Facebook offers.
How to use Facebook offers, pretty straightforward. So I made this title fairly easy to understand, so you knew what you were going to get as soon as you hit the video. Okay? So how to use Facebook offers. So you want to make sure that if you're going to title your video, what would somebody be typing into the search engines to find in order to find your video? So if someone was looking for, and in Jeff's case yesterday, what did you type into the search engine?
Let's say I put on there how to connect, or no, how to utilize lower thirds using ATM Television Studio.
Right, so he was pretty specific about what he wanted to get, but people were titling that information. I'm guessing the titles were something, had those words in there, right? So they were using those words that gave him a result that exactly he wanted. Does that make sense? All right, so how to use Facebook offers. Actually, one thing I do want to show you on this. This is let me just see here. So by putting in, so this is a search. This is Google search. So basically, I put in how to use Facebook offers. Can you see that up the top there? How to use Facebook offers. How many results do we have here?
Well, 601 million.
601 million results for how to use Facebook offers. Now this video is a couple of years old, I think. Scroll down, just scroll down a little bit.
I can't scroll. For a second.
Suddenly Frank Kern jumps on my screen. I'm like, what the hell?
Apple a day makes me crazy.
That's it. 2 fingers. And scroll
Ah,
down
the
like
2
that.
fingers.
Right, there we go. So let's scroll down here. Right here, this is my YouTube video, just here. So I'm in the first page of Google. I haven't done anything to this video forever, and look how old this is, nearly to the day almost. It's 2 years old, and it's still coming up in the first page of Google from a video I did 2 years ago. I haven't even looked at that since. I just did a quick search this morning to see if it's still there. So my video is still coming up with great search results. That's 601 million pages. It's still in the top 10. Pretty cool, huh? And that's 2 years. That's working. It's been working for me for 2 years now. It's like an employee that hasn't called in sick. In fact, I even forgot they worked for me. I never had to pay them, and they're still bringing me traffic because of this video. I look at my analytics, and I can still see people searching for how to use Facebook offers, YouTube, still driving traffic to my website. So you can see how powerful that's going to be. You want to add something to that?
You know, a lot of times people look at, and I was the same way when I was on the other side as a business without video. I looked at it and said, God, those videos are expensive. You know, I'd spend, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 for a video. And all of a sudden I realized, I said, wait a second. Here's an employee that's been working for 2 years. Basically, you forgot what that employee was doing, working for 2 years, and all of a sudden you go, wait a minute. If you put that out over time, you're going, well, God, you're not $7,000 a year. How can you hire a full-time employee that works 24/7, never takes a break for $7,000 a year? If you can, here in the States, good luck. I mean, it doesn't happen. So that's the benefit of this, is sometimes you have to say, make that relevant, but also one thing that we really focus on is also making it evergreen, making it as long as possible. This message is not like, hey, this was the topic of today.
Yeah. This video didn't cost me $7,000. It cost me maybe 5 minutes and 17 seconds of my time. It was just a screenshot. All I did was I was talking about how to use Facebook offers. I just did a screenshot and said, here's what you do, this is what you click, this is what you need to do, and that was it. So it didn't cost me anything at all. So I got a pretty good return on my investment. What do you think? Yeah.
You did that right on your Mac, or?
Yeah, I'm a Mac. No special software or anything like that. You're right.
So,
Yes.
is that a video that you posted to YouTube?
Yep, I posted. Basically, it's right on my computer. All I did was look at my screen. I used a program called ScreenFlow, and if in this case it was an explanatory video about how to use a particular section of Facebook. In your case, you can do if you've got something you want to show on screen, or you do a face to camera thing, and you might say, hey, this is what's your name? Ken. So, hey, this is Ken. This is my business. This is what we do. And if you're thinking about car loans, is it car loans?
Car title loans.
Car title loans. If you think about car title loans, one of the things you want to think about when you're looking for a car title loan, which most people make the mistake of, is da-da-da-da-da. So then that's it. That could be a video. It could be a minute long. But what you're doing is you're answering a question for someone who's searching. So they might be searching for something like problems with car title loans. And there's your video. Hey, here's a problem with car title, and here's the answer of what you're looking for. Now you just post that on. You can use it your phone these days. You got a mobile phone that works pretty well. Great camera on it. You can easily upload that and title it and do what in these next 10 steps I'm going to show you. Do exactly that, and you'll start seeing that start working for you automatically. Does that make sense? Yep. Cool. Okay, so that's the title.
Say I want to do a video on how to read a nutritional label.
Yes.
I could do that right from my computer.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. You can go and you can take a photo of let's say a peanut butter jar, right? You take a photo of a peanut butter jar, you stick it on your screen, and you can just do a voiceover saying, right, this is Robert, and I'm going to show you how to read the label on a peanut butter jar because this is important. Here, check this out. And then all you're doing is you put little circles like this. This is the sort of thing you can do. And these circles on a PowerPoint, but you can put a picture on a PowerPoint and just read over the top of that. So here's the label, here's the nutritional information, here's the section you want to be checking out. Easily do that. That will take you a couple of minutes. And you could pick I mean, you could fill all your videos on just labels on shelves that people buy, right? Peanut butter jar, peanut butter one week, can of soda the next. Okay, so tags. Tags are the pieces of information that we like to put in that associate your video with search. So, for instance, in my video here, I haven't got these here to show you, but in this case, I would put down things like Facebook. So, if somebody was searching Facebook, tags help YouTube or Google identify what that video is all about. Okay, so in my case, I might even put my own name there, because if someone's searching for my name or the social media bloke, I want to be able to be found as well. So I'll put tags in there that are relevant, that are helping me get found. Not only do they look at the title of your video, but they also look at the tags that you've got in there. So it's often a good idea to use the words in your title inside your tags as well. Make sense? Yep. Okay. Description. Now down here, you have the ability to put in a description. This description, I don't even know, is there a length on the description? Is it 2,000 words?
Well, it used to be, they would give you 5 lines. Now they've doubled that, so you have more lines.
Well, actually, this has got more than 5. This has got about 20 lines now, I think. But I'm not sure. I've seen full almost book size.
I don't think there's really a limit.
A limit,
on that.
yeah. So you can put as much information as you want in here. Now, one of the things you want to do about information in your description is that use the keywords that people are searching for. Use your name of your business in there as well somewhere. Make sure that you've got as much relevant information in the description as you do in the video as well, because search engines still look at this description to give results. Whether YouTube does or not, it doesn't matter, but there are other video sites out there that pull information straight from YouTube. And they grab the videos from YouTube and they stick it on their own site. It's what they call syndication. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Yes?
On that information there about your description, what appears to the viewer used to only be 5 lines. Now it's doubled in size.
Right.
The amount of information in there is, I don't want to say limited or unlimited, but you can put a lot of information what you and I will see, because that's valuable space to YouTube or online. But in YouTube now, it's double the size of that. So I want to make sure you understand that those first few lines, those are the things that compel the search engines and also us when we're looking to make sure we want to click through for that video. And I think something, Andrew, did you talk about making sure you put your link in there as far as your website is concerned?
Number 5.
Okay, sorry.
I'm glad you asked.
We
So,
didn't practice that.
so links is another important thing. Now, up the top here, I've got my link here. This is a clickable link inside the description. Now, as Jeff was saying, I've actually here, there's a button that comes down here that says you want to find more. When you talk about description, click on more and it drops down all the information. But before I did that, it only had these 4 or 5 lines that Jeff was talking about. Now the reason that I put my link up the very top here is because I don't want people to be having to click on a button to go and see my link. I want them to see it as soon as the video comes up. This is what they see. They see the video and they see my link there. I don't want them, because some people don't even know that more button exists. Even though they watch YouTube all the time, they don't realize if they click more, there's more information. But they do get to see my clickable link. Now this clickable link, you want to make sure that it doesn't just go back to your home page. It goes back to a relevant page that could be relevant to this topic. Because if you have the same link going back to your home page, and you've got, let's say, 50 videos, if I've got 64 videos on this channel, and I had them all going back to the one page, I don't necessarily want them to all go back to the home page. I want them to go back to various pages. So here, I've got, there's a dot, which means that it's actually not my home page, it's a particular, and I'm guessing I've written a blog post about this as well, so it's going directly back to that blog post. So you want to make sure that you put your links in there at the very first part of your description, so people are driving traffic. At the end of the day, there's no point putting a video up there if there's no call to action. I've either got a call to action at the end of the video or a call to action to go and find out more about this video with my link. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yep, Jim?
Yeah.
Yep, good. All right, transcripts. Now, transcripts are a feature that YouTube do automatically. This little button over here is a transcript. Automatically, YouTube will transcribe your video. So if you want a real funny laugh, put a video up and then go and read your own transcript. They're not very good at it, I've noticed. It's an interesting exercise. I should have got this transcript and showed you. But it's a funny read, especially if you're in video and you can laugh at yourself. But they do have transcripts. Now, here's one thing you can do is if you've got your own transcript of your video, if you go and get somebody to transcribe your videos and you know that it's the right words you're looking for, then you can upload that transcript inside this video rather than let YouTube do it yourself. Transcripts are great if you've got the right keywords, if your video is relevant. This is actually how YouTube and Google now can actually find videos that have specific content inside them, because they actually transcribe every single video and then they read the transcripts to see if that search result is going to be relevant to the video. So they're actually watching your video. So when you do a video, make sure you're using your keywords, even if you're just talking about peanut butter jars and labels on peanut butter, make sure you're talking about your name, your business, where to go and find you, because those transcripts are used for search results as well. So don't just say, hey, I'm going to talk about peanut butter jars and here's the label. There you go, thanks for watching. Because it doesn't tell me anything, there's no search results. So you use the keywords, talk about gorilla cookies and all that sort of stuff, talk about your name and your website inside your video, so that when the transcripts pick it up and someone does a search, you're going to be able to direct people back to your website. Make sense? Alright, let's have a look. Length of video. We spoke about length earlier. This one's 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes because I needed to take 5 minutes, but people are still watching it. They're still watching it even today. I would prefer to go kind of YouTube video on how to, a quick one, 3 minutes, and then maybe a link to a one if you want to watch more, click here. So it's up to you, but what's the length of your videos usually? 2 minutes?
It depends. If it's a video like this, Andrew, statistically we'll watch this because we're searching for an answer, and if the answer is 6 minutes or 10 minutes, like I was watching that video last night, it was 15 minutes. I had no problem watching it completely because I was looking for it. It wasn't looking for me. In fact, it wasn't interrupting my night. I was looking for an answer. So don't let that mislead you. If you're using it to attract traffic, I think you need to keep it, under 2 minutes. If you're using it to answer questions and solve problems, and it takes 5 minutes to do it, if I went on that video and I stood and I waited 5 minutes and he really didn't give me an answer, I'd be upset. If I went 14 minutes and really didn't give an answer, I'd be upset. But I'd be just as upset if I watched it was 45 seconds and it was a bunch of information I could not use. So if it's interrupting, less time. If it's solving a problem, take the time you need as succinctly as possible to deliver the answer. And that could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, I watch videos a lot that are, sometimes 30 or 40 minutes long, but they're relevant. They're really relevant to the topic.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. If people are looking for that information, they'll watch it. I'm watching a video right now. I'm still watching it. It's an hour and a half long, but I know that I want to watch it because I'm looking for that information. Okay, any questions? Yes.
That one right there, if you wanted to go in and update it to 2014, can you go in and update it and then
as soon as I go in and update that, I could it would change. I believe it changed the publishing date, so it comes into today's date.
So you could reduce that.
I could do that, and I should do that. Do you want to talk? Do you do that? Go back into old videos? You want to talk about
a lot of times we'll go back in and we'll look at content, like say a title as an example. Maybe at the time it researched out that the title would be very popular, but we're not getting the hits on it. So we'll go back in and redo a title. We'll redo the description. We sometimes will go back in looking at a video using statistics. I know he's probably going to get into this, but we'll look at a statistic and say, hey, the average client, if it's a 5-minute video, they're dropping off at 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And we go back in at 3 minutes and 10 seconds and say, what was happening there? And then fix that, and then re-upload that video. And when we do that, YouTube will look at that as a new entry. And anytime you're doing it, it's freshening it up. It's like dusting your house. You need to do that every now and then just to keep it fresh. So you definitely want to do that.
We make what's...
Yeah. If the antithesis of like a 90-minute video would be like a 5-second animated GIF, that would still be a video.
Yep. GIFs are very popular on places like Google+. Facebook, you won't see GIFs on Facebook.
What we were just saying about freshening up the site. Could you talk about that?
Well, you're freshening up this video. So basically what you're doing is you may have, as Jeff said, you may have updated information. The video still may be relevant, but nobody's looking at it. Or your search terms that you thought were going to be popular didn't turn out to be as popular as you wanted. So maybe there's a better headline that people are looking for instead of calling. Let's say for instance Facebook came back and they said, no, we're not going to call it Facebook offers anymore. We're going to call it Facebook rewards. So all of a sudden my traffic would stop because no one's looking for Facebook offers because it doesn't exist. It's now called Facebook rewards. So I would go in and I would change the title here. I change the description because I'm updating the video. The video content essentially is still the same. It's still going in the same place. They just changed the name. So all I'm doing is updating that because now it makes sense because maybe I'm looking at my analytics here. I think next week we're going to talk about analytics, on video analytics. But I'm looking at my analytics that says suddenly nobody's looking. You had all these people watching your video, now nobody's watching it. Why? I realised that Facebook have changed the name of what they're calling this thing. So now I've got to go and change my video. So I either go and do a new video or I just change the title. And by changing the title and the description, this will say now published, been updated on May 27, 2014, which gives it a much more current flavour. Make sense?
Yeah, I agree. The search engine couldn't read a GIF though, could it?
They can't read a GIF because often the GIFs are just silent. Yeah. So there's no image. There's nothing to read on a GIF.
So you'd have to repeat what you said in the GIF if you wanted to. If you're freshening up.
If you want to put a GIF on that's 6 seconds long, then you may want to put some words around that in your description and stuff.
We always top 10 or 12 on Google searches. A website comes up, we're not getting enough traffic or click-throughs through it. We don't have a YouTube account per se. We need to have a YouTube account in order to have this.
Yeah, you do. And YouTube
on
account's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you've got a Gmail account, you'll automatically have a YouTube account. You just may not have explored that. And if you haven't got it, get yourself a Gmail account. They'll set you up with a Google Plus account and a YouTube account as well. Do you have Google local places, local listings for your businesses? Then you'll probably have a YouTube account associated with those.
Okay, and then just as a side question to that, do I need to have a separate Facebook account too? Is that another major?
Yeah, that's a different program altogether. But you'll have your own Facebook account. In that, I would say rather than having your own profile as the information for your business, you set up a business page and you create your own business page for that. Yep. All right, we're nearly done. Okay, branding. Branding can be quite popular. In this case here, I've got a little what we call a video bumper, and a video bumper is something that just indicates who is putting the video out. In this case, this is my brand. This is my personal blog site, social media blog. I got somebody on Fiverr.com to do a little bumper for me. I think I may have paid the upgrade fee of extra $5, so it cost me a whole 10 to put this little bumper up there. Now all I do is add it to my video. So in your case, Robert, you might have a little bumper. You might have a gorilla eating cookies or something, and then you put that. It's maybe 2 or 3 seconds. It's not very long. It's not so much a GIF because a GIF is a repeating video, but it's just like a 3-second.
What application is made to use it?
GIF.
No, it's made the bumper.
iMovie. You can make anything. You can make it on your iPhone. You can make a bumper on your iPhone if you want. It's not that complex. It's just having the if you want graphics on there, maybe a little bit more complex. I don't even do it. That's how much I couldn't care about how it's worked. I just know where I could go to Fiverr, pay someone $5 to do it.
Okay.
All right. So branding. Then we've got embedding options. Now embedding options, if you allow embedding your video, if you allow people to embed your video, what that does is it lets them put this video in this size, or they can pick the size, inside their own website. So if you see a video on YouTube and you think, hey, this would be good on my website, I wish I had that, well, you can go and do that. There is no legal ramifications for you not to go and do that. So if you wanted to embed this video on your own website, all you need to do is click on share. See the share button just here? Click on share, we'll do a drop down, and it will give you an embed code. You basically grab the code and stick it on your blog post exactly where you want to put it. So if you've got a video that is out there that's, let's say there's a generic how-to about auto car financing, and it's not really associated to anybody, it's just somebody put it out there and that's great. Rather than you going redoing the video, you could grab the embed code of that video and stick it on your website and say, hey, here's a great video. This is all about auto financing. Now you don't have to go and give anyone credit to it because you're embedding it. What's happening? YouTube are giving you the option. When you load up a video, you're basically saying to people in the world, here's my stuff, take it. And you can take it. It's available for you to take. So you can embed it on your site. So allow embedding so people can embed you. I've found that, we'll talk about this next week on analytics, but I've found that I get a lot of shares or a lot of video views from other people's websites because somebody's taken my video and embedded on their website. Now I'm getting exposure from their traffic, which is pretty cool. Number 10, syndication. Syndication is all about how do you get that video, not just on YouTube, but what other sites are there out there. And these are 3 of the big ones right now. There are a couple of others. In fact, there's probably 100 others. Other video sharing sites that are out there. Daily Motion is another one. Nana Cafe, Vidler, Vimeo. They all do the same thing as YouTube. They're just not as big. Some of them, in fact, I'll find my video on sometimes in another country. Sometimes it'll be an Indian or a Chinese website. And there's my video on some Chinese site I've never even heard of before. I'm like, how did they get that? And basically what they do is they troll through these sites and they say, hey, here's a new video, this could be interesting, let's stick it on our site. I don't care, I want as many eyeballs as I can. Alright, I think that is it. No, one more. Share. So, there is also a share button down the bottom here, and not only do you embed, but you can also share your videos, and other people can share this video. Share it to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of the social sites. They can share it to bookmarking sites and that sort of thing. So let people share it as much as they can so that you can get as many eyeballs coming through on your video. Go.
Just a little note about that sharing. I saw this the other day and I thought it was pretty amazing. People put a video out and then they don't do this and they wonder, God, nobody watched my video. 51% of all videos that have high traffic counts, high views, are shared with their own database. In other words, McCauley, say you have 200 people on your email list, but you don't send it out to them. You'd rather send it to Facebook or wherever, and you're not getting any views. Well, these people don't know, like, or trust you, but the people in your email list do know, like, and trust you. So you're recommending, hey, I just made this video, I'm going to send it out, I'm sending out, give me your feedback, what do you think? And if you like it, share it with somebody else. Because here's the other thing. Statistically, we all have 250 names in our database. So if you had those 250 and they sent out to their 250, that's 62,500 views. Do you think you'd get some action if just half of those people watched your video because they shared it? Yeah, because there's a lot of them. What do you think the average number of views are with the average video that goes on YouTube? 10?
Yeah, it'd be 10.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lucky, I think.
Yeah. And if you're going to go to all this effort, everybody says put on Facebook, put on LinkedIn, and they skip that part about sending it to your email database and asking them to share it. So I just want to toss that in there.
So anyway, I'm pretty much wrapping up here. That's because we're going to do the hot seat in a minute. Are there any questions about video optimization that we've just been through today? Any other questions? Who's convinced? Who's confused?
Yeah.
Seriously, what are you confused about? What is it that's confusing? Because we've given you a fair bit of information today, and it's not information you have to get stuck on in your head. It's relatively take one step at a time.
What am I confused about? I'm not of the YouTube generation, and I'm not a person who wanders around glued to a smartphone. And so, frankly, it just passes me by. I'm not interested in it at all.
But you're not interested, but are your people that you're looking to buy your works?
Yeah, they are. That's the whole point.
So that's where you're going to come in and say, well, okay, I don't have to look in. We're not asking you to watch the video.
I know my own demographic who I want. Yeah, 18 to 35-year-old progressive.
So then you want to look at how can I get over that fact that it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about them. And
Yeah.
what do they want? Well, it's video. Okay, so bite the bullet. You either do it yourself or you find somebody on Fiverr or or an Elance or something like that to say, hey, I'm looking for assistance in video.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm looking in that area. I'm looking for a guy who can do a really kind of wild video.
Good.
And this guy's pretty off the wall. So,
Good. So if you can do that, then you don't have to worry about how it's done, and don't get confused about the how it's done.
No.
Just know what's available and what's possible, and then you can say to them, okay, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 10 things on your video when you do it.
Yeah.
And then you'll sound like you're an expert. You just read off the 10 things you've written down there.
That's what
and he's going to go, oh, okay, you must know what he's talking about.
yeah. So I've got that. I'm also looking for a guy who's interested in social media, because I'm not. You know.
Great. Find the right people. Find the right people to do that for you.
That's what I want. So I'm looking to get, look, this is interesting for me, is the fact that I'm getting an idea of how to delegate, learning the language.
Great. No, you're doing a good job too. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for showing up, because it's good that you're here every week doing that and learning that stuff, and I can see it already. You know, see your site changing. As
I'm
we
getting
go.
a broad picture, basically.
That's
That's
exactly
all.
what we want to do.
Yeah.
Ken,
10, it's actually 10.
10?
10.
Ted, sorry, Ted.
So the, what we're looking at on the screen here is essentially the result of somebody having done a Google search and then clicked on your deal, which brought them to this page.
This is basically a YouTube page you'll see once you've done that search. Yeah. So at the start we showed you where that YouTube search was. When they clicked on that link, this is what shows up.
It was a YouTube search.
This was so Google search. They did a Google search. Remember that Google one we had at the very start.
Yeah.
That was that result there is this. This is what you, if I clicked on that live. In fact, I can do that now. Let me show you.
There were 601 million.
Yeah. So let me show you. Just to give you that idea. Alright, so if I click on here, it's basically going to take you exactly to what we've just been looking at on the screen. Just turning over. It's coming. So it'll take you straight to what we've just been looking at, rather than a PowerPoint. It's going to take you to the squirrels out the back are running really fast now, trying to make this page churn over. Maybe I'm not connected.
Is there,
Okay.
I didn't disconnect you.
is there a,
It's still churning.
do I need a password to get online here?
You do. We ask while we're doing live streaming that we don't use the Score internet, because streaming just takes a lot of bandwidth.
As soon as we stop streaming, you can jump on
Yeah.
at 8:30. So there it is. See, that's it. Perfect. Look at that beautiful, clean page. Lots of information. 1.8 million words.
Looks like my website.
Yeah. That's not going to happen for me.
Andrew,
Anyway, so that's clicking on that Google result takes you to that YouTube video.
what's causing the delay? What is the actual?
I don't know. I haven't looked. Because we are streaming all this sort of stuff. So we're streaming, so it could be because we're taking up a fair bit of bandwidth while we're streaming.
So it's saying now it can't.
It's saying it's not connected. I'll refresh that after we finish, because I don't want
No,
to.
I was just.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't be doing that, but we are both on the same thing right now. And I shouldn't have been on there because Jeff didn't like it.
In terms of, if I embed a video on my website,
Yep.
in terms of page SEO,
Mhm.
what do I put, is there some way that I can get more benefit?
Same
from
same
searching?
thing. So if you're embedding a video on your website, then the title of your web page, you want to make sure that's relevant to the video that people are looking for. The content you put on your actual on your blog post is relevant, and then in the plugin you've got Yoast. That's where you want to put some of those metadata, the keywords in there too. So
Okay.
that's where I'll talk to you about that later too.
Alright.
But yeah, on a page you want to make sure the title and the description in there, the content is all set.
Okay.
Do you want to do a quick hot seat?
Sure, if we have no more questions?
Yeah, so any more questions? What do we do? Hot seat or questions?
Hot seat.
Hot seat, okay. Who wants to go on the hot seat? Anybody? Jody?
No,
You want to go on the hot seat?
no, I'm fine.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
You gotta be prepared.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
That's the problem.
Alright, so no hot seats? Hot seat, Janelle? Anyone else want to do a hot seat?
I mean, I could do it about the automated thing I'm doing.
Okay,
Just
let's
ask
do that. Let's do a quick,
suggestions.
we'll do a quick 8-minute hot seat.
Okay.
Hold on. You ready to go? I'll disconnect from the internet.
I don't know, what's the worst that can happen?
You get answers.
Can I ask a question? How many people read labels when they go to the grocery store?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
You know how to read a label? The labels are horrible.
Well, I usually
It's
say my
so
glass. The first thing is you
confusing,
take your glasses, make sure you
Yeah,
can
but I
read them.
mean,
That's the first shot.
Yeah.
That's the
All right. So just give us a quick rundown of your business. What is it?
It is newsletters, online content for cosmetic surgeons.
Online content for cosmetic surgeon. Okay. So what is the biggest thing that's a challenge for you today? So we can
Okay.
brainstorm it for you.
Getting the word out about what I'm calling e-news to go, which is ready to paste newsletters, online content that I'm selling from my website, e-commerce, that any cosmetic surgeon can use in their promotions, online promotions, and email promotions mainly, and just insert into their own template and send out as a monthly communication to their patients as a patient loyalty tool.
That's taking the onus off the surgeons to come up with content. You're creating it for them so they can send that
Exactly.
to
They don't
them.
have to think up a topic for every month. They don't have to write it. They don't have to hire someone to write it. It saves them a lot of work. It's ready to go. Boom, boom, boom.
How many
So,
people would like that sort of service for their own business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so what's
okay,
the what's
my
what's the
question
challenge?
is, how many different ways, how can I get the word out? I mean, besides, talking about it in my newsletter to my database, taking out Google ads, doing explainer or instructional videos and posting that as many places as possible. Yes.
Just one quick question. Your business should be probably a lot of referral business, yes?
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, have you gone back to your database and explained that, just updating their information? You might have people on there that have been on a while and they've kind of forgotten. You're that video that Andrew's put out there, no disrespect, and they've forgotten because you've just made it so easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
To go back and actually give them a video of exactly what you're doing, and it's a one-stop shop. You get it all done.
Yeah.
And who do they know? What are they? Because doctors hang around doctors,
Right.
and they're out playing golf or they're playing tennis or whatever. And all of a sudden, you put it in such a way as if you had to do it yourself, how much per hour are you actually investing in it? So it took you 4 hours to write this content.
Mm-hmm.
On your hourly basis, can you really afford to do that when it's only this much from me? Who else do you know that that can benefit from my service?
So do it as a video and send it out to my database.
I would. It increases your open rate by 96%. Why wouldn't you? Yeah,
Okay.
definitely put a little video out there and explain what you do again. And I'd put it right out in front and said, hey, you know what? What we find is most doctors or people writing on content don't realize how expensive it is when they do it themselves.
Uh-huh. Okay.
As an example, you as Maverick's client, they're making X number of dollars an hour. If it took you 3 hours to create your own content, or even someone in your office own content,
Mhm.
how expensive is that? I have a better way.
Okay.
And then this is what we do and explain it to them and bang, who else do you know?
Okay.
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 Who is your database?
All plastic and cosmetic surgeons all over the country.
Okay, would it be possible to get a hold of a list of people who are making inquiries on the web about various cosmetic surgery procedures or regional area or whatever, wherever you try to target it? I don't think the doctors are going to turn over those names and email addresses of their customers probably because that's a violation of the Privacy Act probably.
All right.
But is there a way, to find these people who are out there looking at the internet and trying to find out what plastic surgeon they want to go to? Can you somehow capture those? I don't know the answer.
So I think her database is not the clients of the doctors; it's actually the doctors themselves. So she's looking for surgeons rather than the surgeon's patients.
Yeah, the content.
Yeah, the
is-
content's for the content. Her ideal client is the surgeons themselves, so they can put the content out to their patients. She doesn't want to know who their patients are because they're not her target market. the target market are the surgeons themselves. So she could go and find a list of, well, she's already done this, got a list of already surgeons and stuff like that. So does that help you? What you
Well,
decide what you're trying to
I
do?
was just gonna ask, are you trying to help them find new business?
Yeah, well, repeat business, because it's a
So-
patient loyalty tool.
So your target might go beyond their patients.
Yes, because they get online leads from directories and their websites, and so that becomes part of their database, and so they send my content to these leads, so it helps them get new business as well as,
But you're not trying to target anything outside the doctors themselves.
not the customers, no, not the patients, just the doctors.
One thing to keep in mind, and I was exposed to this about a year ago from a gentleman who does what you do, but they offer different services. And it was amazing how many doctors do zero follow-up. And so all he did is he goes in and he teaches them and puts a system in place on how to do follow-up, and it increases their business by 30%. Well, think about what probably a plastic surgeon makes in a year. And if
Yeah.
you could add 30% to his or her revenue stream and not have to do anything different except follow up, does that make sense to them to bring you in?
Follow up what, on their
Like
email promotion?
Well, yeah, like now they have a newsletter where they didn't have a newsletter. They followed up with their clients that just had surgery. They didn't follow up before because it's all automated and you're taking care of that. And it
Right.
increased their business year over year by 30%. So that's a huge amount of money for,
Yeah.
especially for a plastic surgeon, I would think.
It is, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's one sales argument, for doing
Yeah.
the newsletters, right.
But I think if there was one thing, I'm sorry, Andrew, if there was one thing that you could do, because I think we can get really confused with, okay, now a list of 10. What is the one thing that will give me the most bang for my buck? I would say go back to your database right now, whether it's face-to-face, online, video, whatever it might be. I would recommend video, and ask for referrals. Ask for referrals. Because maybe that might be that situation out of all your database. What would adding 5 new clients this next month in the next 30 days do to your business? Would it have an impact?
Right. Okay, well, I do get most of my business by referrals. I will say that it's the slowest way to get new business, but it's the
Do
way
you pay your referrals?
sometimes, yeah, depending on whether I've talked about it ahead of time and I'll.
Because you
say
could
I'll
even
give
do
them
something
rights.
like, here's a service I offer, it's X amount of dollars per year. I'm willing to give it to you for free. You can give me 2 people that will sign up with me now. Sign up this
Okay.
week.
So, yeah,
So
maybe
you could
that's,
say to Dr. Smith, I know you've been using me for a while, but how'd you like to have me for free?
yeah,
It won't cost you anything. He's going to go, oh yeah, I want that. Well, just give me 2 of your friend doctors that are in somewhere else in another state,
Yeah.
or wherever they are. And
right,
if they sign up with my service at full price, then I'll give you yours for free.
okay.
So
Yeah, I was
you're
thinking-
doubling your revenue stream.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was thinking of doing like a discount or something, but I think doing it for free is like much more
Do it for free because it's
persuasive.
still doubling. At the end of the day, it's not going to cost
Yeah,
you
and
much
it's
more.
no more
effort.
work for me.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's just right there on my e-commerce site. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't care if it's used 10 times or a million times.
Exactly. So I would even think about doing that.
I have a
And what
question.
about Google Ads? Is that something that,
Google Ads will help you find doctors. It can be expensive if you don't do it properly in the first place. But test it. Give it put down $200, $100, whatever, and run some ads to a page where they're going to sign up or get something on your list. At least get them onto your list. If you're going to run an ad, run it to an ad that's going to get them to do something when they get there.
Right.
Whether it's a sign up or a purchase, and then just test it and say, okay, I spent $200. How did that work? What was
Yeah.
it costing me per click? I
Mhm.
mean, in your case, you may be finding that it's expensive cost per click, and you may be paying $5 or $10 per click,
yeah,
which means that if it's $10 per click, which is pretty expensive, you're only getting 20 people possibly to go there for your $200 budget,
mm-hmm.
and you're not going to have a good enough number set to work out whether that's going to be worth you doing in the long run.
Okay.
I don't know. You have to just test it. Just test it and say, okay, I'm willing to put out $200 and lose it all to see what I got.
I have a question. Like, all the time doctors, they're affiliated with different associations. So are you targeting the associations that those doctors are affiliated with?
You know what, my hearing isn't that good. Could you just say it a little bit louder?
I said, in the medical field, the doctor, regionally, they're affiliated with different associations.
Right.
So
Yes.
are you targeting the associations nationwide, you know, that those doctors might be affiliated with?
I can, and I do go to their conferences and try to make personal contact with people.
No, but
Um,
just get the list of nationwide.
No, I know. Yeah, it costs a lot of money. They ask for a lot of money to advertise. They have directories and they have ad pages. I'm constantly getting emails from all the professional societies asking if I want to drop $5,000 on this, that, or the other. You know, one of the reasons I come here is that, you know, this is like a workaround. Instead of using their influence, you know, you try to get your own sphere of influence. Otherwise, you know, you're constantly dropping a lot of money on these people.
All right, so does that help you give a couple of answers?
Yeah, that's 3 things.
Awesome. Great.
Thank
Let's
you.
do it. All right, so next week we're going to, I think we're going to continue on a little bit of video stuff as well. I'm going to talk about analytics on video. What things do you need to be looking at for your analytics to make sure that you're doing the right, you're heading down the right path. So next week we'll do a analytics. Jeff's going to do all about analytics next week because he's the king of analytics on video. So it sounds boring, but we're going to make it as fun as possible. Who wants to hear some fun? All right. Yay, all right. Okay, Jeff, anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Yes, next week especially we'll bring chocolate, or we'll bring filled donuts for those who arrive next week for video analytics.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, next week.